God says you hurt their ego by correcting them. Now they are distant, but still using your wisdom. Amen. God says when you spoke, you didn't just give words, you held up a mirror. And they saw something they were not comfortable seeing. Not because it was wrong, but because it was so accurate. And accuracy is what offended them. So what did they do? They distanced themselves. They pulled back. They changed how they moved around you. But here's the truth. They will not meet. They heard you. In fact, they didn't just hear you. They took what you said. They are applying it. They are using it. They are benefiting from it. But they are still offended by you. Because it came from you. God says if the same words came from someone else, they would have received it differently. But because it came from you, it disrupted the image they had of you. They expected less from you. They underestimated you. And now suddenly, you are the one correcting them. You are the one seeing clearly. You are the one guiding. And that shift has unsettled them. Amen. Because to them, it feels like exposure. God says you didn't expose them publicly, but truth has a way of exposing internally. And not everyone knows how to handle that. Now hear this layer clearly. There are people who will walk with you, smile with you, speak well of you, but never expect more from you. They are comfortable with the version of you that feels smaller. They celebrate you when you stay within their expectation, but become unsettled when you rise beyond it. Because your growth forces them to confront their own limitations. God says some people don't struggle with your failure. They struggle with your expansion. They loved you when they could define you. They were comfortable when they could measure you. But the moment you step beyond that, the relationship begins to shift. Because now you are no longer fitting the vision they were used to. And this is why some people in relationships feel tension without understanding it. Because they are connected to people who love them, but only within limits. People who accept them, but do not expect greatness from them. People who walk with them, but are uncomfortable when they evolve. God says, be careful of those who are only at peace with your smaller self. Amen. Because they will smile with you, but struggle internally with you and who you are becoming. Amen. And when you correct them, when you speak with clarity, when you move with growth, it doesn't just challenge them, it exposes the level they were comfortable keeping you at. This is not new. Look at what happened in 2 Samuel chapter 12. The prophet Nathan corrects King David. He doesn't shout. He doesn't embarrass him publicly. He simply presents the truth, and David is confronted with what he had done. Now here's the difference. David received it, but not everyone does. Look at another example in 1 Kings chapter 22. A prophet speaks truth to King Ahab. Clear truth, direct correction. And what does Ahab say? I hate him because he never prophesies anything good about me. Not because it was false, but because it was uncomfortable. God says that is the spirit you are dealing with. People who don't reject correction because it is wrong, but because it confronts them. So they create distance. They change behavior. They act differently towards you. But here's the part they cannot escape. What you said stayed with them. God says they are thinking about it, replaying it, analyzing it. And even though they are distant, they are adjusting. because truth does not leave once it has been received. And God says, do not take their distance personally. Some people need space, not because you were wrong, but because you were right too early for them. And they are not mature enough to admit it. Amen. So they separate themselves from the source while still benefiting from the message. God says you were not called to be liked. You were called to be accurate. And accuracy will always cost you comfort with people who are not ready. But hear this wisdom. Do not chase their approval. Do not try to soften truth to make them comfortable. Because if you dilute what you carry, you will lose the very thing that makes you effective. God says some people will distance themselves from your voice while still being shaped by it. And that is not your responsibility to fix, because your role was to speak. And what they do with it is between them and their growth. Amen. God says, stand in what you saw, stand in what you said, stand in what you carry, because even if they don't acknowledge it, they know, and that knowing will continue to work on them long after the conversation ended. Amen.